How's it going, everyone? Sean here from Raw Techniques Studios. Today I want to show you guys the New York compression trick. It's also known as parallel compression, but when I was looking through the Mixing Engineer's Handbook, on page 58 they call it the New York compression trick. I guess it's something that's popular, used by mixing engineers over in New York. So I wanted to follow their technique because they use it on drums in the example in the book, and I just want to break it down so you guys could see that. So here is the New York compression trick on a drum set. Here's the drums before adding this parallel compression. Alright, and now let's add some parallel compression. So Shift Command N, I'm going to go with the stereo aux input. I'm going to name this New York comp, and then I'm going to select a empty bus for my input. Let's go bus. I have one already renamed New York, so I'm gonna go with that one. But you could go ahead and right click on any of the buses, hit rename, and name it what you want. So I named this New York. And then on all of my drums here, I'm just gonna go ahead and hold shift and select them all there. So you just select the bottom, hold shift, select the top, it selects them all. On my sends, I'm going to go ahead and hold down shift and option at the same time, and then I'm going to go ahead and select a bus and go to the one I renamed New York. That makes it to where it brings it up on all of these drum tracks here. I'm also going to hold shift and option and click on my fader, so it makes it 0, and that does the same thing for all of these at one time. And now they're all being sent at 100% as a duplicate over here. And then lastly, what I want to do is hold down option and hit pre right here, and that makes it to where all of these are now pre-fader, so I could solo out the aux right here and listen to only that as I work on it. So that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to highlight these so we can listen to the drums, and then solo this and press play. Now if I don't have this soloed and I press play right now, you hear that phase that's coming through? That's because there's a delay, and to fix that I need to make sure that my output is the same as all of these. I want it to go to the same spot, so I'm going to go ahead and change this over to 7 and 8, and that makes it to where it's being sent into my submix here. And now when I press play, there's no delay anymore, there's no phase caused because I'm going into the same thing. Alright, so let me go back to my aux input here. Here's my drums. Let's go ahead and start the compression. What we're going to do is heavy compression, so we're going to use a limiter. Go to dynamics. I'm going to use the L2. You can use whatever you want. No dither and no noise shaping. And then what I'm going to do is just take down the output ceiling a little bit because I know it's going to get really loud. So I'm going to bring this down about 6 dB or so. And then I'm going to start pulling down my threshold until I get over here on the attenuation about 10 dB, if not a little bit more, just to get a really, really overly compressed sound. Alright, so that's extremely compressed, and that's the whole point with parallel compression. You're doing an extreme compression on the parallel, and then you blend it in with the original to have it sound bigger. Now, another thing that they did in the book as an example was not just do heavy compression, but also add an EQ, and then they add some low end and some top end. So they say to add around 100 hertz. So let's go ahead and do that. And they say add quite a bit. It's 6 to 10 dB at 100 hertz and 6 to 10 dB at 10K. So we'll do that there. Just narrow up this Q a little bit. And then let's go over to 10K and bring it up. Let's do about 6 dB here. Narrow this up a tiny bit. All right, so let's see what that sounds like. All right, so it's really boomy, it's really bright. Now let's go ahead and listen to what it's like to blend it. So first thing I'm going to do is unsolo that. I'm going to go back to my sends over here, hold down option and select the pre to turn it off. So all of these are no longer pre-fader. And then I'm going to listen to the loop, bring this all the way down as low as it could go, and then start blending it as we listen to the loop. Alright, so let me mute it and then bring it back in a couple times just so we can hear the difference between the two and see if we like it. Alright, so I backed it off a little bit because I felt like it was a little overwhelming on the compressed signal. So I didn't want to blend it in quite that much. I just wanted a little bit under the original. And I think that sounds good. It just adds a little bit more of a beefy sound to it. It makes it sound bigger. So that's how you could use the New York compression trick, which is just parallel compression on a drum set here. You could do it on bass, you could do it on vocals, you could do it on individual instruments, whatever you want to do. Parallel compression could add some thickness to whatever sound you're trying to thicken up. Hopefully that helped out. That's the New York compression trick. If you guys are interested in learning how to mix like Drake, I have a free course where I go over that, and I will send that right over to you if you sign up below. So go ahead and click that link down in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.